Posting regular and sometimes basic Instagram reels on a day-to-day basis has made my business $52,000 in one single month. And in this video, it's going to be extremely raw because I'm just going to show you exactly what we did, how we did it to honestly make that happen for my business. What's up? My name is Jaden, and every single video that I post on the internet is dedicated to helping entrepreneurs and business owners like you make better content that actually converts for your business. I was able to grow my own personal brand from 2,000 followers across accounts to over 370,000 converting followers across accounts. In this video, I'm just gonna break down very simply, like no crazy edits, anything. I'm gonna try to make it as raw as possible. I'm just gonna break down exactly what we did and how we did it and how you can do it too. That's it. This is a regular video just about that. So immense the iPad screen recording. So I have the Instagram logo here at the very top simply because Instagram was the only channel to make this happen. This wasn't on TikTok at the time. This wasn't on YouTube at the time, how I'm doing now. This was only on Instagram, and I was only able to pull up 2 screenshots from that specific month. That specific month was actually in December. December was the last month that we used for our coaching offer. So at the time we had a coaching offer that was around $3,000, I believe. I could be tripping, but I believe it was around $3,000. So as you can see here, one of our payment processors on WAP, that gross revenue for that quick time was about $25,000 on there. And then we also have another $21,000 that was on Stripe. And there was another payment processor that we just started using that we now only use pretty much that had the remainder amount. And this was all from short form content on Instagram at the time. So if we scroll down, who was needed to make this happen? We made this happen with 3 people. First person was me. I was in charge of some fulfillment. So obviously, as I said, this was a coaching offer that was around $3,000. So I was inside of fulfillment. I was also needed to make the content in the first place, obviously. And also I was basically the expert. Every single business owner, and 9 times out of 10, if you're watching this, you're probably a coach, a course creator, a consultant, or something around the education space in some way, shape, or form. You are the expert, aka you need to be the person in the content. You need to probably and honestly be the face of this all. And if you're not the face, somebody has to be the face. If that's one tip I can give you, people buy from people. And so there needs to be a face or a human type of connection, especially when you're making content. Why? Because the trust value ladder is like absolutely insane. Everybody's an expert in something nowadays, and everybody is starting their own coaching offer nowadays. And so you have to be able to separate yourself from other people, and that's not going to happen if you're hiding behind the camera. That was the first person. The second person was actually a closer. Now, in my company, the person that was closing this month was actually my operator as well. So back in the day when the growth operating stuff happened, I actually got in contact with a guy. We've honestly just been developing now, so he's no longer a growth operator. He's way better than that now, but he's technically my head of operations, but he was also my closer at the time as well. And then last but not least, we had a setter. Those were the 3 people that we needed to make this happen. And honestly, the setter we didn't even really need, which I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that later on today. Full transparency, out of the $52,000 that we made that month, so last December in 2024, out of the $52,000 that we made that month, the setter only brought in 1 to 2 of those people. Full transparency. Everybody else came from what I'm about to show you later. So those were the people that we needed to make this happen. Content engine, very, very, very efficient. So now comes to what I posted, because obviously if we're dealing with a content engine, we need to be figuring out what to post and how much of these posts. So here's what I posted. I posted 3 types of content. These 3 types of content should be exactly what every other coach watching this should be posting. The first one is like skill-based or tactic-based content. This is content that's actually going to allow your audience to get some quick wins. Quick wins are important because they just watched 5 videos that they couldn't implement anything from, and people just sound like they know what they're talking about. However, if they come across your content and they can not only watch it, get value from it, but they can implement on that value, it's up. So first was tactic type of content. The other type of content was more so I want to call it lower effort content. And when I say lower effort content, I mean prompt based content. This is when you read prompts or you read hooks and you go off the top of your head. This helps because it provides authenticity to it. A lot of the times when you script out content word for word, it freaking sucks because you almost put yourself in a box, you put your knowledge in a box, and that can come across within your content. That's not what we need at all. And then the last type of content was I took directly from my coaching program. That right there was the game changer for everything. When you're able to take content directly from what people will pay you to get, not only does that provide a future person click, is what I like to call it, which simply means you show them a glimpse. You give them a glimpse of what it's going to be like after they buy. Don't show them all this roo-rah, the lifestyle. No, show them what it's going to be like a little bit after they buy. So what I did was I took a little bit of some of my course material and I just made content from my course material, literally starting on the first day of that month. So the first day of December, my first post that went out was directly from my course. So those are the three main types of content that I posted. I sprinkled in a little bit in there. I would say the other big piece of content that I put in there was reverse engineering results. This will also separate you from a lot of people who don't really know what they're doing. Why? Because if you're able to take the results and just reverse engineer them and make content about how you reverse or how you got the results, you now are able to position yourself as an authority because now you're able to talk about stuff that you've already done. This video, case in point, I'm literally teaching you guys, I'm just doing a reverse engineer of how we did $52,000 in 1 month just off of making Instagram Reels. So this is basically that. Anyways, this video here is me scrolling through my feed for the entire month of December. What you'll notice is the scroll is very short. Why? Because we only posted 15 to 20 pieces of content that month. That's it. So for all you people who are like, yo, I need to be posting 5 times a day, you don't. You really don't to maximize your content. 15 to 20 posts that are actually dialed in. Now, obviously, if you're starting out creating content, your posts won't be as dialed in unless you have a team like mine that is working on it. Speaking of, if you're tired of making content for yourself and you're like, yo, I need a team that's actually just gonna give me the systems. I need a team that's gonna do this all for me so I can just show up and record. Click the first link down below in the description. Anyways, so those 3 types of content, 15 to 20 pieces of those content. The second bullet point I have here is niche. Now I put that in all caps for a reason. So many coaches, course creators, consultants, people in the education space, we always want to make wide type of content. And to be honest, I think it's the dumbest thing that you can do. Because when you make wide content and you're scared to niche down, it puts you in a worse position than you think. You think you're going wide so you can try to cast a wide net and get as many people in as possible. But to be quite frank, like it does nothing for you at all. See, what happens is this. When you're scared to pick a niche, people then become scared to buy from you. You didn't know that. Why? Because when you make wide content, people don't know if you're talking to them or the next person. Yeah, that's the thing about content. Content should be a niche content. You should be making content for one person about one main problem that they're going through and just continuously solving their problems post after post after post. And then last but not least was proper stories, which I'm just going to talk about a little bit later. Well, the later being now. So proper stories is this. We posted 2 types of stories this entire month. The first one was interactive and pre-assumption polls. So many of you are using polls talking about, what should I drink today? Matcha, coffee, or some Gatorade? Nobody cares about that. However, if you bring up a problem that they're going through and you give them 3 options to figure out what is their biggest problem, not only are you able to attack that in more pieces of content, but this is where your seller can come in and start reaching out to people. And this will allow them to start to see, yo, wait a minute, this guy actually knows what I'm going through and he's trying to make content around what I'm going through as well. I'll put up an example here on the screen of the style of poll that I'm speaking of. When I say pre-assumption polls, a lot of the times you know what your audience is going to pick. You see how there are obvious choices there to which you know for a fact, okay, these 2 are going to be the biggest problems, or these 2 are going to be the biggest solutions and the biggest clicks here. So I just made a bunch of pre-assumption polls. The next one was just direct call to actions. Stories to sell, stories to sell, stories to sell. If you aren't using your Instagram stories to sell to your audience, you're tripping. Why? One, because if you're not selling to your audience, and this is something I've had to realize, if you're not selling to your audience your product or service, they don't have an option to buy. And if they don't have the option to buy, they're going to go to somebody else whose product is half as good, who cares not as much as you, who isn't as competent as you, who has half the experience as you, and you put them in a bad position. Simple as that. Now, the other reason why I love selling on stories is because on stories, you get to sell in private. And when I say private, I mean semi-private, because stories disappear after 24 hours. So if I create a promotional post today on any of my stories on Instagram or TikTok, honestly, if I make a promotional post today, right now, if you didn't see it within the 24-hour span that I posted it, I can post another one the day after, and you will never know that I promoted you or promoted to you the day before. You see what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what we did. A bunch of direct call to actions. We only did that 2 times a week. And then the rest of the week was either lifestyle tips or interactive assumption polls. Now, here's genuinely the little quick system of how it went. So it went me with the content, and then I also posted the stories, and then the setter went from the stories to the DMs. So all of those people who were interacting with specific problems on those pre-assumptive posts, he would literally just reach out to those people and directly try to close them like that. And then obviously we have the closer. Now, here was the key to this month, link in bio. The link in bio that we had, which was different. So right now we were running a masterclass, but it was an application to book a call. The link in bio that we had made us a majority of the income that month. Why? All because of the specific type of content that we posted. The content that we posted allowed somebody that was new to me or even used to me and my content. It allowed any person that was my ideal audience to watch 3 pieces of my content and understand, okay, this guy knows what I need to know, has a solution to the problem that I have, and so I need to figure out how to get in touch with him. If your content is that dialed in, it's a no-brainer, and they will click the link in bio and they will start to take action from your direct call to actions that you post on your story. Here are the last couple notes that I want to make before I leave you. 2 things. 1, make direct and real value-based content. Stop the fluff. Stop trying to build a personal brand that looks like everybody else's. Stop it. Flat out. You start to look like everybody else. You start to feel like everybody else. And now people don't know if you're real. And guess what? You're not providing the real value that they need. The point in us making content isn't just to look pretty, isn't just to have a big brand like Alex or Mosey. No, the point of us making content is so therefore we can solve our audience's problems. And if we solve their problems, they will then feel in debt to us, and we build up that goodwill. And then, ta-da, next thing you know, they're trying to take action and they're booking a call, they're going to the link in bio, they're filling out the application, they're going to the webinar, they're going to the challenge, etc. That's the first point I want to make. And the last point is just pique enough interest. That's it. Only talk about the things that your ideal audience cares about. Stop trying to reach everybody and their mama, because that's what will keep you broke, and that's what will keep your content from not converting. I promise you that. So those are my notes. That's exactly how we made $52,000 in 1 month just from posting Instagram Reels. Hopefully this video was valuable to you. Drop down below in the comment section exactly what you are going through when it comes to your content, so therefore I can make a video about it. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out. Thank you later.